The Palestinians are calling it a day of rage as violence erupted on the West Bank, leaving 5 Palestinians dead and scores of others wounded in clashes with Israeli forces. While scuffles also broke out between Palestinians and Jewish settlers. And in Gaza, Israeli forces and Hamas launched yet more attacks, as Israel's Security Cabinet has just rejected an international plan for a temporary ceasefire, according to reports which say it's seeking modifications. Our international editor, Lindsay Hilson, has the latest.
Israel's protection, Iron Dome. A radar-guided missile fired this morning into a cloudless sky. The trajectory is straight until it locks onto the rocket fired by Hamas and destroys it in a moment. The Iron Dome battery at Ben Gurion Airport was also in action today. 3 rockets fired from Gaza were intercepted, but the siren sounded and the airport was evacuated. An inconvenience, luckily, not a tragedy. In Gaza, there is no system to intercept Israel's bombs and missiles. They fall day and night, destroying buildings, livelihoods and lives. Gazans held a funeral for 4 civilians killed this morning, even as diplomats worked the phones from Cairo to Qatar, trying to get the 2 sides to agree a truce. The mosque where mourners prayed had itself taken a direct hit.
They defied everything and came to pray here minutes after a strike on this mosque, and they continue to pray.
Israeli troops maneuver along the border. Under the truce proposal, they'll stop bombarding Gaza but continue to destroy the tunnels Hamas uses to store weapons and attack Israel. Video released by Hamas shows fighting in Beit Hanun in northern Gaza. It's hard to see them agreeing to such a plan. In Gaza today, people picked through the rubble of their homes. Death is the worst, but what about destitution? Hamas has said it will not stop firing rockets unless Israel's blockade of Gaza is lifted. But the proposal being discussed says ceasefire and then negotiate. Gaza's overstretched hospitals continue to receive gravely injured civilians, including children. More than 800 Palestinians have been killed so far, and that number will rise if there's no ceasefire. Monday or Tuesday marks the Muslim festival of Eid, normally a time of joy. But in Gaza, it will be a time of grief and desperation.
Live to Lindsay. Well, events or perhaps non-events are moving fast. Is it an outright rejection of this peace plan by the Israeli cabinet?
My understanding is that Israel's Security Cabinet rejected this unanimously. Now, they did meet for a long time. They went into the Sabbath, which is very unusual in Israel to do that. And it's not clear yet. They haven't said why they rejected it. But military officials have been saying over the past few days that they want to continue for another week or even more, because they're determined to destroy the tunnels which Hamas has been using for hiding weaponry and also some burrowing under the border so they can come out and attack people within Israel. And I think that what the Israeli military are saying is that this is their opportunity. The world is looking on and seeing all these people being killed, including children in Gaza. But from the Israeli military point of view, that's a distraction. What they want to do is fight on the ground and destroy these tunnels.
Just very briefly, we're expecting John Kerry, Secretary of State, I think in Cairo, to speak any moment.
Yes, and he has said that he will not stay in the region to force this ceasefire through. He has to go home. So if he does speak, I think he's going to be a very disappointed man, because what is going to happen is that this hideous war is going to go on. Hamas will carry on firing rockets. Israel will continue to fire missiles into Gaza. We've got more days of killing to come.
Well, we'll catch him when he speaks and doubtless talk to you again. Thank you very much indeed, Lindsay. Kathy.